Well, Rockford, of course, has a long industrial history, but you may not know that the earliest version of the airbrush called this city home. Luke Frederickson joining us from Midway Village to share more for Throwback Thursday. Welcome, Luke.
Thanks for having me.
You didn't say hairbrush, you said airbrush.
Airbrush, exactly right. We've talked about other facets of Rockford's industrial history with machine tools and furniture and screws and knitting. But a little known fact is that the first inventor and manufacturer of the airbrush called Rockford home, yes.
Yeah, who made the first airbrush?
In 1883, it was patented by a man named Liberty Walkup.
Great
A really
name.
interesting name. Yeah,
Yes,
he's a
him
Mount
right there.
Morris native. Born there in 1844, he served in the Civil War in the 92nd Illinois Infantry Regiment, Company K. And after he was out of the military, he tried a few things, farming, but in 1879, he met a man in Iowa named Abner Peeler who had a rough working prototype of what became an airbrush. He called it a paint distributor. And Liberty Walkup perfected it and manufactured it and brought the industry to Rockford. And then his wife opened a art school to help promote the airbrush to fine artists. And students came from all over the world and learned to use this new tool in fine art.
Yeah, that's what it was used for. I asked you before we went on the air whether it's for industrial purposes. You said it for art. I can't imagine now some of the art that's done not having some form of this airbrush. So they were used for creative purposes. Were they surprised at the application that, hey, this works? It was a success?
It was quite a new technology. Yep, people used it to colorize and retouch photographs. And it was used for a variety of other things. You could put powders in there to use for glass etching. So it was a really unique tool, and it used compressed air and a fine needle to help atomize the liquid and distribute it in a new and creative way.
Do you use it for tattoos?
No, maybe temporary tattoos.
Temporary
I don't know.
tattoos, yeah.
But yeah, I have right here with us an artifact from our collection, an early airbrush from the Airbrush Manufacturing Company of Rockford, Illinois.
Did they plug that into an air compressor? Or?
Yep, right here, this tube in the back. It would attach to a pump and an air compressor, and then the nozzle at the front here is where the paint would come out.
What else was this guy known for inventing besides the airbrush?
He pretty much only invented that, but he was also known later in his life as a Prohibition Party white ribbon candidate for state senate. He was very much against alcohol, and he, as far as I can tell, he did not win an election, but he was an aspiring politician as well.
Oh, it's fascinating, and this obviously this has evolved throughout the years. Great stuff there, Luke. What's going on at the museum? Things are going good?
Oh man, we're super busy putting together our newest exhibit on Camp Grant. We've been talking about that, as you know, for a while, and we have a ribbon cutting on February 20th and a public open house on February 22nd and 23rd. Free to everybody to come out, check out this new exhibit, learn about Rockford's Camp Grant and the role it played in Rockford history. Very, very exciting.
My dad wrote a book, my late dad wrote a book about Camp Grant, the fact that it was an airport before it was an airport with the Rockford Airport.
Yeah, that's the home of the airport now, exactly. Yeah. And right, it was built in World War I, and boy, you can learn all about it, why it was named after General Ulysses Grant, and you know, it'll be a new permanent exhibit. And can't wait to open it up.
We'll talk more about that as it gets closer to the exhibit
Absolutely.
opening.
We'll share some of the details and some good pictures and everything else.
I love it, Luke. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you on Thursday.
Happy to be here.
All right, we'll see you next week.